Hello everybody, I'm recording this video because after my last season of lectures in US, I received a lot of messages asking for the next calendars, but I have nothing scheduled yet. So I decided to record this brief summary of my lecture on big data and AI on marketing, so you can see again and share with your contacts there in US before my next travel to US. Well, I'm Freddy. My name is Freddy Pacheco. I'm a consultant, mentor, speaker, and business advisor here in Brazil. I work with global companies, both from Brazil and from America. And I'm a managing director of Logos Consulting and Training, the company I founded to train teams in big companies, small companies, startups, venture capital funds, and so on. Let's talk a little bit about new technologies, but actually to think correctly about new technologies, we gotta understand what is behind, what is the social behavior behind technologies. One good example is social media. Social media and social networks are not actually a technological phenomenon. It's actually a sociological phenomenon. It's something that I called an old new, because only the channels are new, but we had social network forever. We had the church, the family, the neighborhood. Everything is a kind of social network, and we use it daily basis in our life, and it's important to understand the concept so we can use it correctly for business purpose. It's not about using technology or using the tools that is available on Web 3.0. It's about understanding the customer motivation, the user's behavior behind the technology. Why they are using social networks? Why they are seeing pictures in social media? That's the important to understand so we can align the technology, the tool, to our business goals. On my lecture, I explain the evolution of AI and big data research, and I explain a little bit about the different models, different technologies that you can use. Here I will have no time to do it, but I would like to share some examples with you about the great use of those technologies. For example, here we have the example of a project conducted by IBM Watson here in a museum in São Paulo, Brazil, that is called The Voice of Art. It was amazing because they used the Watson technology to learn about the art inside the museum, and all the visitors of museum received an iPod with the app installed, and they could literally talk to the art. They could ask any question about the art, about the author, about whatever they want to better interact with the arts in the museum. It's amazing because here in Brazil, the majority of population never have been in a museum because they don't understand, they don't relate with art, and they were ashamed to ask questions to museum staff. So with the IBM Watson, they could talk freely about everything they want, and the Watson answered literally talking to them. It's amazing, and every company can think about this technology to use in customer services.
Há alguns estudiosos que
Other amazing example is the Amazon Go stores. Everything there is smart. Everything there is with AI and big data. You come inside the store, they make pictures of you, and everything you do inside the store has been captured by smart cameras, and the facial recognition realize it's you, see what products have you bring from the aisles and puts inside your bag. So you can go away from the store, you can get out there without making any kind of cash payment or cash out, nothing. All the cameras, all the AI will make anything else. It's amazing. But the most interesting in this case, in particularly for me, that I explain in my lectures, is about how they can use the information, the big data they are capturing there to make the e-commerce better. For example, Amazon also have Amazon bookstores in America. Why? Why the giant of e-commerce has a physical store? Because there are many kind of informations you can use from the store to the e-commerce, from the e-commerce to physical stores, and that's the most intelligent way to do. It's not only doing omni-channel, that is also really important, but when you realize how can you use the data, how can you make cross analytics between your physical stores, your e-commerce, your call center, it opens a real new universe for your brand. Think about it. Another place that I love to implement projects of big data and AI is in retail. First of all, because what I explained in Amazon case, that you can use analytics cross properties for a company, but I also love to make a lot of good use of data, as for example, the travel behavior of the customers. So the retail, for example, a supermarket can forecast what stores will sell more during the week, what stores sell more during the weekends, when you have a holiday, how it will affect the consumption of each store. We can make a lot of good models today. Currently, our imagination is the limit for any project. If we can imagine a good use for the business, we probably can do the technology to help us. For example, here in Brazil, working with a big bank group here, we implemented a call center project that discovered what was the mood of the customers that were calling to call center. So the operator received a message in its system saying if the customers was happy, if the customers were um, afraid, if the customers were upset, and then the operators were trained to respond in accordance for that. If the customer is happy, you can play, you can make a joke, but if the customer is upset, uh, take care. You should act differently. It's work very well with human operators, but it also can be done with chatbots, with automated responses, for example. For sure, everybody has a bad experience with chatbots, with automation that really doesn't answer your question, really doesn't resolve your case, and you have to talk to a human being. But it's a bad implementation. If we train correctly the algorithm, if we make the projects correctly, it will answer the question. It will solve the customer problem. And it's much better to have a quick response than have to explain all the case again to the customer operator and blah blah and so on. So it's about planning the project and doing the right implementation. So I think that's it for now. It's just a little taste about my lectures. In actual lectures, I bring all the results for each case we study, those that I showed you, and much more. and always discussing about the results, about the business impact for the company, because in the end of the day, this is the most important, of course. And as I said before, I'm the managing director of Logos. We have the Logos for Startup field of business, for example. We work training venture capital funds, startups, big companies, and also working with corporate universities and universities. Those are my business contacts. I'm always available to exchange ideas, to research together, uh, to talk about the better way to collaborate. So feel free to contact me, and I hope to see you in my next visit to US.